Somebody call for the queen.
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me sleep rest in the morning, I had me a...
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and our home team. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Lucky 56.
A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Mayfield now on second down. And that is incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
39!
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here to his running back. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's caught. Stills right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Landry now on the return. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Mayfield to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Here's Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Browns have taken the early lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Dolphins now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear. But it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Will Redmond. And he works free. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now. But later, when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Now Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Antonio Callaway, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And he's able to put it through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24-25.
Looking for Stills here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Trying to get it that time to Stills. He has been interception-prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
Detroit! Detroit!
Following the interception, Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
They go with Chubb on second down. And now running right through it. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Demetrius Harris, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns add on to their lead. And it is now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
He'll right. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gone.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And that one results in 35 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. His pass caught at the 4. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They go play action. Mayfield. His throw caught right around the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Being chased out left. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Mayfield on first down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Throwing, Mayfield. And Callaway taking it in left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one goes for 36 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
First down, Mayfield. That's complete right around the 8. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jalen Strong, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are pouring it on. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Come on, let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38! Flex round! Flex round!
They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Barrett now on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
To throw, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run here with Ballage. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, here's Barrett. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Flushed out right. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Wide motion. Hey, check flag 33. Check flex round! Flex round!
Barrett looks to throw on 1st. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90! Flex round! Flex round!
A final shot before break. Barrett. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And incomplete on the deep ball. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. The Browns are going to get the 2nd half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Here's Barrett on play action. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Ballage. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. To throw on third down. Barrett eluding the pressure right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Hut! Hut!
On fourth down, Barrett. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Ohio! Ohio!
On first down, Barrett to throw. And this one's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Hut!
To throw again, Barrett. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll try and run with Balaj. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And this Browns defense stands tall. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And all the way in for the touchdown. Antonio Callaway, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Browns continue to roll.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit from the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Throwing again. Barrett. he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Detroit!
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
2nd down, Mayfield. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. Touchdown! In for the score. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab the nugget when I can.
A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go. 190. 190.
Milage. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Come on, let's go. 190. 190.
From the shotgun, here's Barrett. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball. Right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Hot.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30.
Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. Here's Mayfield. he's got a man wide open, complete. And touchdown. A big play there. 44 yards. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They run it with Balaj. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. The stop was made by Jannard Avery. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Gone!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Buying time to his left. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now Mayfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
They'll try to run with Hunt, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try.
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his first touchdown of the year. And the Browns are pouring it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Balazs. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground. Balazs again. It's a 6-yard pickup to get them back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The Dolphins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure.
Detroit! Detroit!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. He sets to fire deep, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's
on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And out come the Dolphins now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they try the right side here. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence Okay. Talking through big day sumo. Pulling card like Uno.